Want to go back to the phone lines. David in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Hi, David.
Hello, Hank. Thank you for taking my call.
It is my pleasure.
Can you tell me, does the Bible say or hint anything about life outside of our planet Earth and our solar system? And what are your views about life outside of our solar system? I think there is. I think this universe is way too big. It's infinity, obviously, and we can't be the only life out here. And we know that God created all life. It says that in Genesis. But is it possible that God created life outside of Earth and our solar system here? And just like your views on that.
Well, your opinion is a perfectly tenable opinion, but I would ask, where's the evidence? And first and foremost, I would look at the Bible and say that the Bible does not give us a single hint that there might be life somewhere else in the universe, although the Bible does not preclude the possibility, and therein you are correct in allowing for that possibility. But again, I would say let's look at general revelation, and you're doing that in the prologue to your question, at least hinting that you're doing that in the way that you formed the question to begin with, and I think that's a perfectly palatable and acceptable thing to do. But again, I don't think that either through special revelation or general revelation we have any warrant to say at this point that there is, but again, just as you've noted, there's nothing to absolutely preclude it.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. I want to follow up on that a little bit, David, as well, for the broader audience as we talk about these things. I was reading a quote by an atheist that might be kind of interesting, and I actually just pulled it up. He said this: at present, the moon is moving outward at a rate of 4 centimeters per year. And within 2 billion years, it will no longer be able to stabilize the Earth's tilt. This ties in, he says, with one of the most curious coincidences in astronomy, in fact, in all of science, which seems to have no explanation and is utterly puzzling. Just now, the moon is about 400 times smaller than the sun, but the sun is about 400 times farther away than the moon, so that, well, they look to be the same size in the sky. And no one has been able to think of a reason why intelligent beings capable of noticing this oddity should have evolved on Earth just at the time that the coincidence was there to be observed or noticed. And then says the atheist, it worries me. But most people seem to accept it as just one of those things. Well, as Christians, we don't accept it as just one of those things. We live in a universe, as David so aptly said, that is enormous, incomprehensible, 100 billion galaxies with 100 billion stars. But as the atheist is noting, there's something special about this universe. The unique conditions necessary to support intelligent life turn out to provide the best overall conditions for scientific discovery to begin with. And examples are plenty. For example, Earth is situated between two arms of a flattened spiral galaxy, of course the Milky Way, and is not too close to the core to be exposed to lethal radiation or comet collisions or light pollution that would obscure observation of the distant universe. And, catch this, it's not so far that a privileged planet could never form, or where we would not observe different kinds of nearby stars. The atmosphere of this privileged planet is oxygen-rich for survival and transparent for discovery. The moon, it's the perfect size, the perfect distance from Earth to stabilize rotation and to facilitate human habitability. Not only so, the moon and the sun's relative sizes, as the atheist notes, and the distances from Earth provide perfect solar eclipses, which played a vital role in the development of modern science to begin with. Not only this, but again, the atheist is right. We live in the overall best age of the universe to do cosmology. In our time, the cosmic background radiation left over from the Big Bang is readily observable, but it won't always be. Furthermore, the radiation confirms that the universe is not eternal, but the universe had a beginning in a finite past. Most of the astrophysical phenomena that astronomers rely on to measure the universe, they weren't observable earlier on in the universe's development, and they will eventually fade. And again, the atheist alludes to that in the quote I just read. The setting of our privileged planet permits a stunning diversity of measurements from the universe at large, that's how we do cosmology, to the smallest subatomic particles, quantum physics, to the middling size of Earth and humans, which of course involves geology and anthropology. And we shouldn't take this lightly, because from habitability to discoverability, Earth's status in the universe is one of privilege. So why do I say that? I say that because the atheist has his finger on something. It's puzzling to him. He doesn't know what to make of it, but he's got his finger on something. This Earth I call a privileged planet. It's not unique to me, but it is a privileged planet because it is ideally situated. We shouldn't fall for this rhetoric that it's, oh man, that's just commonplace. There are 1,000 Earths, maybe 1,000,000 Earths, and nothing unique about this. No, we don't know that. That's rank speculation. So while we should do general revelation well, just like we should do special revelation well, which is to say we should read Scripture well, we should do science well, by the same token, we should not fall for bad science, and we should never minimize the fact that we live in a very unique situation, perfectly suited for humanity. And we shouldn't just randomly suppose that there's other life somewhere in the universe. It wouldn't militate against the Bible, but it may militate against doing good science. So we'll be right back.